Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Nürburgring Blast. Literally at the time of the recording yesterday, the BMW M4 GT4 was released for RaceRoom. So that's what we have here today. I thought it'd be a nice change, bring some more RaceRoom content back to the channel, which I'm really enjoying. I really like the way a lot of the cars drive in RaceRoom. Feels nice through the wheel. And GT4 cars are great to drive. They're kind of those entry into GT racing. They're fun, they're fast, but they're not going to bite your head off at the next opportunity. So I thought, you know what, let's take it around the Nürburgring Blast. Let's see how it does compared to other cars on the leaderboard. And yeah, let's enjoy a new car that's been added to RaceRoom. So let's get to it. Alright, let's get this ready for the lap. Second gear, final corner. Turn her in. There we go. Right, up through the gearbox. Third gear is a fantastic gear in this car, really flexible. Down into first corner, second gear, and the power all the way out. This is the brand new BMW M4 that's just been added in RaceRoom, and it's really well represented here. It's the kind of car that you can tell that it's professionals can really get a hold of and grab it by the scruff of the neck, but gentlemen drivers, people learning their craft in GT cars, can not be too intimidated from it. Got a nice balance front to rear. As you can see, third gear there, we can really use it to power out the first technical section. A little bit wide, get through it okay. Right, up over the bridge we go, up into fifth, flat out over the flung flats, just for the front tyres, lift a little bit, dab our brakes, get it turned in, back on the power, there we go, and then open her out. Power rising, speed rising. This is where it's going to start losing out to things like the GT3 cars, but that's to be expected. Great addition to RaceRoom that we can use in multi-class racing. Schregenkreuz, dab our brakes, get turned in, back on the power, there we go, and then hard on the brakes, go all the way down to third. Sorry if you can hear a bit of chatter from the Logitech wheel. When the steering starts loading up, it's getting a lot of vibrations through the steering wheel, but you can feel the front tyres dipping in as we go through the foxholes, flat out through the compression. Dab a brake as we go over the top. Down 2 gears, point towards the chicane, down another gear, get the nose turned in. There we go. What I love about this car is it's just so well balanced, so predictable. You know what the front and rear is going to do. If you understeer, it's just because you've pushed it too hard. Go on, turn. There we go. Can get quite hard on the brakes. Flat out through that section there. Avoid the curb on the right. I should try second here. Second generally feels too short for most corners around here. It's going to only be used for the really slowest of slow corners. A little bit late on the turn in there. Try and get through, come on. There we go. Open her out. I think the other GT4 cars that we've had here on the channel is something like the Cayman GT4 that we had from Forza, so it'd be interesting to see where it does up against that. Early on the brakes, get the nose turned in, avoid the curb on the right hand side. There we go. Hold third gear. And then on the power, oh, a little slip of oversteer on the exit there. Right, up through the gears. Going to be flat out through this left-hander here. Just clip the curb. Really attack the corner on the brakes. Oh, maybe a little bit too deep. Again, you can just use the torque of third gear there. Third gear is absolutely fantastic. I think that's a signal of a good race car is a good third gear. You want it to have good flexibility for a good amount of corners, especially in a car like a GT4 where it's not an F1 car where they won't be able to change gear ratios all the time. It's kind of, it's set what it is. It needs to be flexible for all sorts of circuits. Up the hill we go. Gonna have a dabber brake, down to fourth, back on the power, there we go, steering loads up. Right, over the top we go, we're gonna hold fourth, there we go. And up to 5th again. And then hard on the brakes. Right, carousel complex. Don't want to get too carried away. In we go to carousel. Here we go. Down to 2nd. Just try and keep at the minimum speed. And nail it on the exit. There we go. Right. Off towards the roller coaster section. This is where we can make up some time with just being nice and smooth. Carrying good minimum speed. Use the curbs. Well, you're going to use all of that 3rd gear through there. There we go. Right, down the hill, up to 4th. Just trying to keep the minimum speed up. Use as much curb as we dare. Then go back down to 3rd. Going to bump the limiter there. No point in going up to 4th, just to induce understeer through this tricky corner as we come down to Brunchen. Use all the curb. Didn't really need to go up to 4th really there. Use 3rd again. There we go. Get on the brakes early for this corner. Focus on the exit. There we go. Straight line the curb there. Up to 4th. Going to be flat out through this left-hander, and then we're going to watch the jump. Get it turned in. Back on the power as early as possible, because we're going to have to carry all this power up over the hill. Oh, got a bit of grass there, and a bit of curb. Right, flat out over the off-camber chicane. There we go. Down to 4th, get it turned in. Come on, front end. A little bit of understeer there, pushed it a bit too hard. My least favourite left-hander. There we go. Baby carousel coming up. Probably could have changed it up to 4th a bit earlier there. Kick of oversteers would pop out of it. Right, final corner before Dottinger Her. Use 3rd just to aid the car to turn in. There we go, a little bit of understeer coming on to Dottinger Her. Right, rev it right out. Sorry if the boy's been a bit distracting here, he's off school today, playing with his torch. Down the Dottinger Her we go. Doesn't look like it's got quite enough power to reach 6th gear at this point. We can slowly start blending over to the right hand side. Might get 6th as we go under the Bilstein Bridge. At the moment we're looking at 7 minutes. Yeah, there's 6th gear. Finally 6th gear. Right, so can we take the chicane flat out? Yeah, just lifting at the end there. Down to 2nd. Use all the curb. Oh, 3rd, sorry. Now to 2nd. Final corner. Power. Across the start finish line we go. And I think that was a 7:30 something there. So not a bad time. I think there's still more in it. Could probably go a little bit faster, but that's not what Nürburgring Blast is about. It's about giving it a shot, seeing where it stacks up, using the default setup, because of course you could have tweaked the setup and probably gained a bit more speed as well. But if you like this, if you want to see more of this car, more RaceRoom on the channel, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. That's perfectly fine with me. Just let me know in the comments down below how I can make it better, and I'll try and do that. Until the next time, goodbye.